let's prepare you for the 2023 financial collapse. Let's really talk about it today. The job is always to make sure you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And what destroys us most times as a people is our inability to prepare, because we're not even cognizant of what we need to prepare for. So that's what we're going to talk about. We want to definitely share this video. Argentinians is up. They ain't playing. Okay. Let's see. Try to get this thing right. Okay, y'all. Yeah, they wild. Damn, streets. The Argentinian streets is real. They celebrating out here in Miami. That soccer game. But yeah, let's really talk about it. It's all about they wild.
This shit crazy.
Oh my gosh, the crowd is building up. It's probably gonna be a gang of these people when we go.
They better have a whole
Singing their songs. They're honking their horns up. More people coming. Damn, we might not even be able to leave this parking lot soon. They driving all over the place. This shit is sick. They love soccer, boy. Yeah, let's get to it, man. And they still coming. Dude, they got a group text. He's got the mass email. We at the rendezvous spot. Damn, this is a beautiful thing. So, peace, family. Rule number 1. You're not supposed to use your credit cards, but you are supposed to use your credit cards. That's the conundrum that we find ourselves in, because not using it, that inactivity means you can't even trust yourself, so why should someone else trust you? But then when you do use it, how do you go about using it? Well, you don't want to owe more than 36.6% of the credit allotted to you on the due date. That's one. But you also want to take into consideration, what? Let's say you get a house. That's considered an installment account, right? With variable interest. Most people's job or their idea is, let me pay the whole thing off. But what you want to do, you never want to close accounts when it comes to credit. You want to keep them open so you can get the credit history. So an example would be, you would pay in a 90% to 10% ratio. Meaning if you do have an installment or some type of an account that you're paying for that's building your credit up, you may not want to pay it off. You may want to leave some bleed or some room left. And then what's going to happen is your debt to income ratio is going to be more becoming. And you can leverage that into a higher credit score and better opportunities. So let me say it like this. If you have the capabilities to pay something off, you leave enough bleed not to pay it off, because your score will go down when you pay it off and the account is closed, as opposed to leaving the account open and paying the remains slowly where you're not impacted negatively. Okay? And that's what you want to do. What else you want to do? If you have loans that you have to pay off that's outstanding and you finally pay it off, you don't want to tell people, you want to tell TransUnion, Experian, Equifax that you don't want the credit for paying your loans off if they were outstanding. Remove them, pay them off, but tell them you don't want it on record that you paid it off. You just want it expunged. You want it wiped clean from your record. You don't want no one to bear witness to the fact that you was in a scenario where the monies was outstanding. Okay? That's what you want to do. Why? Because it impacts your credit negatively if people are aware that you had a hard time paying something back for so many years. So if I had one person on this end that borrowed $1,000 from me and another person on this end that borrowed $1,000 from me, and then this person took longer than they were supposed to pay me back. Okay? This person took 2 years to pay me back when they were supposed to pay me back in 2 months. This person, they took 2 years to pay me back when it was supposed to be 2 months. So here it is, person A took 2 years to pay me back when they were supposed to pay me back in 2 months. Person B took 2 years to pay me back when they were supposed to pay me back in 2 months. Person A says, hey, I want the credit for paying you back even though it took 2 years. Person B says, do me a favor, don't tell nobody that I was even in that situation at all. Even though I paid you back, I don't want no one to know about it. Person B's credit score is going to be in higher favor than person A. Because now with person A who wants the credit for paying back something late after 2 years, other lenders are going to be skeptical about lending money to you because they're going to say, damn, they paid it back, but shit, 2 years later. The other person said, I don't want the credit for paying back my student loans. I don't want the credit for paying back my credit card debt. It was outstanding. So a lot of times when people do pay their debts off, their credit score gets lower. And you say, why is my credit score getting lower when I paid my debt off? Your credit score is getting lower because no one trusts you. When you have an outstanding debt, you pay it off. What you want to do is make sure no one knows about it. Because if nobody knows about it, then you can be treated more fairly. So always make it clear to the credit bureaus that you don't want the credit for paying back a debt. Also, when you're in our program, first thing we do, we check and see how many years was your debt. Because every state has an expiration date for debt. And if they ensue you with bills after that expiration date, it's illegal. So that's why the original creditor says, hey, we're going to sell your debt to somebody else, and the person we sell it to is going to ask you for that same debt at a cheaper rate. Now I want you to think about this. The third party. If you owe $20,000 in debt, why would someone be like, I don't want the $20,000 or the interest that I was charging you? You owe me $20,000, I'll take $8,000. Fuck it, you got $5,000, I'll take the $5,000. Who wants only $5,000 out of the $20,000? Who? That don't make no damn sense. It doesn't make no sense. I'm gonna tell you what they're doing. So let's say you owe a credit card $20,000 and it's outstanding, you failed to pay it back. But let's say you're from New Jersey and they got an expiration date for that debt for 3 years, and you've been in debt to these people for 5 years. But New Jersey has a 3-year expiration date for debt. So what's gonna happen is they're gonna, once that debt starts coming near expiration or its maturation, they're gonna give it one more good shot to see if they get the money from you. Then they're gonna write it off as a gift and get that money back, and they're gonna sell that debt over to a third party for about probably 10% or less of the money. So if you owe $20,000, the original creditor will sell your $20,000 debt over to a third party collection agency for about $2,000 or less. Now the third party is now ensuing you, now calling you, hey, we're calling on behalf of, you never contracted with this third party, that's why it's illegal. Anytime a third party you never contracted with is calling you about a debt, it's because their creditor already sold it off, wrote it off, got it back, and they're making a little profit selling your expired debt. And that's why it's irrelevant if a third party calls you and collects or attempts to collect. It's illegal. And once we send them a compendium and an affidavit of fact clarifying the illegality of their actions, it's done. So the first thing we do is check what city and state that you're in so we can see if your debt met its expiration or maturation. First thing we're going to do, we're going to see if you have a 1-year expiration, 2-year, 3-year, or as high as 7 years. But once your debt has met its maturation, it's illegal to have someone pay it back after that maturation date. So most of you been in debt for so long and stressed out for no reason because it already met its maturation. And basically what people are doing is they bought your debt over for 10% or less of what it was, and now they're bargaining with you about how much you can pay back, which makes no sense, because if you owe $20,000, the third party buys it for $2,000 or $200, and then now, yeah, you know, we want to help you out. You don't got to pay the 20 grand plus the late fees, penalties, and surcharges that went up to damn near 30,000. You ain't got to pay that. Tell you what, give us $6,000, $7,000 and we'll be straight. So long as it's more than the $2,000 or the $200 that they pay for your $20,000 debt, they'll work out damn near anything with you. And that's why you can pay someone so much lesser than that which you owe, because the original creditor already got their money back, sold it over to a third party for yet a little more profit, and then have you out there stressed out about how you're going to pay this debt back when it has met its maturation. Okay? So every city and every state has a maturation date, a date of expiration for debt, stemming from 1 year to up to 7 years, depending on the entity and the jurisdiction. A lot of you guys that are in debt are actually or technically not in debt because it's expired already. Here's another thing. When you apply for a job, be careful, because when you apply for jobs, guess what happens? Make sure y'all share this video. Free game. But if you want us to service you, it's $2,000. We give you access to anywhere between 50 grand to 300 grand that you don't have to pay back. You also get me as your mentor, where I prepare you for the monies coming in, and I teach you a wide range of ideas how you may want to invest those monies so you can grow it into a larger amount. We'll make sure you have about $500,000 in equity amongst different metal cards and smart credit cards that you don't have late fees on, credit cards with no late fees. And then you're going to use these credit cards to do your investing and pay off, make payments on your credit cards with the other credit cards until you bleed them out. I'll show you how to do it. It's a whole strategy. And you also have a caseworker that's going to deal with you exclusively and immediately with your credit, whilst at the same time you'll also have a website where you can track your results, see when your money is pending, processing, or the funding is cleared. You'll see the deleted items as we remove them and the positive items as we add them. All of that is $2,000 inside of 60 to 90 business days. You email us your full name and your phone number whenever you're ready to purchase this service. As your mentor, I'm going to teach you all this stuff and more so you never wind up in that situation again. So if I only was teaching you, that in itself was worth $2,000. If I only coach you on how to deal with this stuff and grow the money, that by itself is $2,000. Worth it. But for the $2,000, not only am I coaching you, I'm also giving you access to anywhere between 50 grand and 300 grand that you don't have to pay back. And you're also getting damn near $500,000 in equity by the time we restore your credit. And never mind the idea that, oh, my credit is actually good, because that's a misnomer. Because you can have a 750 credit score, 800 credit score, and still be denied getting a $200,000, $300,000 loan that you don't got to pay back, because you don't have enough credit history, or the type of items that you're using to build your credit aren't impressive enough. So that's why we add positive items to your report. We might set you up irrevocable trust, an endowment fund, trust, a private interest holdings, a type B, gift company to give you the leverage so that it loans you the credibility as a businessman or businesswoman, that you can be entrusted with a sizable amount of money that you may not necessarily make on a year-to-year basis. Why am I saying that? If you don't make over $100,000 a year, why should you be entrusted with over $100,000 for the year or two? Yeah, loans that you don't have to pay back. It's an oxymoron. There's a whole bunch of money out there in the form of grants, tax credits, forgiveness loans. There's money out there you don't have to pay back. You just got to find out what demographic you belong to and what points are you missing from meeting the criteria to be part of the demographic that it applies to. If you're a single mother, 30 years and older, there's loans for you. If you're a mother with more than one child and your income is less than $40,000 or less than $50,000, there's money that is due you. If you've been impacted negatively based on the virus and had to take time off of work or was laid off, there's money that's due you. If you're a black man, African American male, with 1 year of college schooling, there's money that applies to you. If you have a business that's been open for 2 years, at least, there's money that is due you, over 50 grand. If you have a company with more than 5 employees that are W-2 employees, not 1099 employees, there's money for you. But there's a 70-20 application that if you have a company, right? If you're self-employed, right? And you have your 1099, then it's 15 plus grand due you if you driving Uber or driving Lyft. So my responsibility as your mentor when you pay me $2,000 is I have about 18 things that most people can qualify for, or they just need us to add or subtract certain things to their profile. We got to remove this item off your report, add this positive item to your report. My job is to see how many of the 18 different money opportunities that are available that you don't have to pay back, get that money to you. That's my job. That's what I commission myself to do. Most of you cannot afford what it takes to get to that point, because then now you have to have a CPA involved. You have to have a loan officer involved to help push these things through. Some of you have tax issues. So I take the people that's part of my team and I have them do these things for you for free. Technically. Because you say, if I pay $2,000, how is it free? Because these people get paid to help facilitate on your behalf, whether they're accountancy or loan officers or what have you. When you get money that you don't have to pay back, I then say, give me 10% on the back end. When I get that 10%, then I pay the CPAs or the loan officers or whoever helped you with your tax issues or whatever it is we needed to do to get you on the level, because you have a bankruptcy, because you have student loans that's over $50,000, because you've been evicted, because you have no credit history whatsoever, because you have a 750 credit score, but you still don't have no credit history that helps one make a determination about the predictability of you as a consumer. Okay? So these are things, or you might not have 3 revolving accounts and 1 installment that makes you meet the criteria of being what's called bankable, because you guys only want to use Western Union and MoneyGram and stay on the ground and off the radar. So my job is to get you on the radar properly, where you don't have to compromise your integrity as a human being, but at the same breath can function in society and reap the benefits, because credit is a class system. It's the new age class system where the haves and have-nots exist. The 600 people don't get treated like the 700s. The 700s don't get treated like the 800s. Credit is the new class system. You get treated different based on where you are. But what you don't know is there's over 30 different credit bureaus and financial institutions that have a say on your opportunities to get monies you don't have to pay back, or to get loans that are sizable as opposed to the minuscule amounts that they've been giving to people. And that's why even when you say, I got good credit, most people don't know what good credit means, because they only can think within the framework of TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, and FICO. They don't know about the CDAs, the consumer data aggregates. They don't take into consideration LexisNexis, LEXIS, LexisNexis, NEXIS, and check system, CHEX. These entities report about any business you ever conducted when it comes to accounts, credit cards account, bank accounts, anytime you did anything. This is why we tell you, be careful closing accounts, because you can always use it for the history. Oh, I paid this off, I don't want to use it no more. Well, you know, keep it there. Okay? So, your bank has a credit scoring system you're not familiar with. DMV has a credit scoring system you're not familiar with. Social media has a credit scoring system you're not familiar with. You know, social media has a credit score system you're not familiar with? Yeah. Because consumer data aggregates, they aggregate this data, which means I want to know what the likelihood of a person who only looks for Michael Jordan sneakers is in association to people who can't pay their debt off. How much hours do people spend on sneakers, browsing for sneakers and clothes that don't give them a return on their investment? What is the likelihood of giving them X amount of dollars before they can't pay it back? So you get a social media score. You also got a traffic score. You got a pharmaceutical score. Because if you just got your boobs done and they give you some Percocets, muscle relaxers. Percocets is a drug that's commonly abused. So your pharmaceutical score goes down because of the likelihood of you abusing a drug that's known to be abused. And now they're going to look for the predictability of the consumer. What is the odds of a person using Percocets in association to, in the event they should become addicted to it, how do they go about paying off their debts? So out of X amount of people, out of every 10, every 100 people that are prescribed Percocets, how many of them get addicted? And what is the connection between debt? So once you get prescribed certain drugs, it automatically lowers your score as they look to determine the predictability of the consumer. And so if you're a serial return artist, you return your clothes quite often. What is the connection between people with the mentality that buy clothes and return them in association to the debt they accumulate and how they're able to respond to that debt? And now what they'll do is say, okay, this person has been given volume or Percocets for whatever reason. This person is a serial return artist who loves to look at sneakers and clothes for hours at a time. And they aggregate that data and come to the conclusion that your ass can't be trusted with $10. You see what I'm saying? So these are scores that you don't know about. And the bank has scores about you that they don't tell you about, that they pass over or they solicit to other entities. So they can deny you of getting the largest amount of money that you should get. And we have the right to say, I don't want that data being used against me. I don't want my bank account data being used against me. I don't want the amount of money I have in my bank account at the end of the month being used against me versus the amount of income I got. Income to expense ratio. You have the right to say, don't count that. And when you do that, the amount of money you can get approved goes higher. So my job as your mentor, when you hire me for $2,000, is to really put you in position to get the highest amount of money in every one of the opportunities we dig through, because we have 18 opportunities for you to get money that you don't have to pay back. And I have the professionals that's credentialed, because I'm a 9th grade dropout. So I have the professionals that's credentialed, okay, that's going to go out their way and work on your behalf, because once you pay your $2,000, you got all of them for free. Because they know you're going to get not only money, but significant sums of money through the program. So we take 10% of anything you don't have to pay back. So you get $200,000, we ask for $20,000. You get $26,000 employee retention credit, where you get $26,000 per each employee. I hope you're making your children and your friends employees. You probably got 50 names and numbers in your phone. Why are you not translating your network of people into your clients or your employees? It makes no sense to me. Well, when you work with me, I'll show you how to do this, son. Okay? You go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. You leave your full name and your phone number whenever you're ready to purchase the $2,000 service to give you at least $500,000 in equity. And I hate saying that because the numbers is so big to people, they believe they don't have the right to get that access. But I'm actually projecting lower numbers. Because if you have unlimited credit cards, then if you got 2 of those, what dollar amount are we talking about? I get you one of these black cards I got, then what dollar amount are we talking about? Okay? This is Rolls Royce Diaries, by the way. Rolls Royce Diaries. So the goal is, make sure you share the video. And again, I know people at times rather me gossip, talk about what's going on with Kanye and Kyrie Irving and all this other stuff. But don't let 2023 catch you off guard with all the layoffs, the price of living, food inflation, getting a smaller quantity of food for a higher price, hyperinflation. Don't get caught off guard. Don't be sandbagged by 2023. If you see the 500 companies, the Fortune 500, if you see those companies laying people off at record numbers in the thousands, you must understand you're going to be the people that's going to be impacted the most severely by this transition that's taking place. And AI technology is getting more and more sophisticated. That means they're ushering in new technology and usurping that technology for human beings. More and more human beings have less value. This is the most ideal time. This is the most ideal time for you to become an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur. Bulletproof your cars. We need you here as long as possible, brother. That's mad interesting. You should say that. Yo, 2K is expensive, and $500,000 to $1 million is a lot compared to 2K. That's my rebuttal. You know, and I'm not saying that to say that you looking to be mean to me. I'm saying come up with it, because there used to be 3K. Now I'm in a space where we very rarely get anything, because the $2,000. Remember this. First of all, you're getting, for the $2,000, you're getting $500,000 in equity and credit cards. Second of all, for the $2,000, you're getting anywhere between $50,000 to $300,000 that you do not have to pay back. Third of all, you're getting a caseworker that's going to deal with your credit exclusively and immediately. Not someone that's going to pick up your phone every time and talk to you about the psychology behind why you're nervous about investing. No. He's going to deal with your credit exclusively and immediately. Then you're also going to have me as your mentor, where I'll be preparing you for the money's coming in, so you don't have this large sum of money and equity by way of credit cards. I know people don't say credit card equity, but that's what I teach. Equity by way of credit cards and loan money that by the time you combine them, loans that you don't have to pay back, or grants, whatever combination we do, of tax credits. By the time we put together your grants, tax credits, loans you don't have to pay back, and your credit card equity, you will have 7 figures available to you. But we don't want you to have 7 figures available to you and no means to understand how to invest the money thereafter. Okay? That's what we talking about. That's what we talking about. That's what we need to get done. That's how we got to do this. Okay? I see the bots go out their way every time. So what you guys could do, if you've ever been in any of my courses, press 9 if you made money from my services. Press 9 in the chat if you're anybody that invested in any of my courses and you made money. Just press 9. I'm gonna just show you how this thing really works, so you can see that people, the way these agents work. Just like the brother who said, make sure I bulletproof my car. I understand it. Thank you. There go the 9s. Let me use this phone to see the 9s over here. Look at this. I'm gonna show you Facebook people the 9s. Then I'm gonna show the Instagram people the 9s. Okay, now let me show Instagram people the 9s. Look at that. Look at the 9s. Hold on. See the 9s? So I'm showing both sides of the coin. I got Instagram and Facebook up. Just like that. The 9s are coming in. Look at this. More 9s. So that's how I kill the noise. That's how I kill it. Press 9 if you've been making money. Let me show the IG people the the 9s as well. The 3 times 3s. Let's look at it. Okay. 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 Thank you. 9 to the 9th power 9. Okay. Okay. Oh, let me get you guys in tune again. Hold on. Let me show Facebook the 9s here on IG again. Okay. Look at all the 9s, Facebook. I just stopped just for a word from my sponsors. Okay? That's what I do to kill. That's what I do to kill the noise. So you know it ain't staged. So as much as you can see 9s, you don't see no fucking complaints that can add up to my 9s. That's what I want you to realize. So you gotta ask yourself, who are these people? Because why is it that people can benefit? I just showed you 2 different streams with 9s going up and down, up and down, up and down. So if I have the capabilities to empower people and have them make money, why wouldn't I do it for everybody if I already know how to do it? It's common fucking sense. That's why I'm telling you this shit gets annoying, because they make a bunch of fake pages. Then they get people upset with me that I'm scamming them, and I'm like, that's not even me. They made like, I can't even talk about broccoli and carrots without them taking down my page and breaking down how it's a hybrid and carrot toxin in it and all this other stuff. They'll take my page down. Niggas look at anything. They said, still a hood nigga, the foreign running on E. My shit is not on E. I have 50 miles left. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I think I will make it to the gas station just right across the street. I think I will. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn. My shit got to stay right on full for me to do a stream. I got to make sure, let me make sure everything is straight for these people that I say look for the fucking 9s, not for what's in my gas tank. God damn. I think I could afford the gas if I'm in a $400,000 car. I think I can. Okay? I think I can. It might be possible. It's Rolls Royce diaries. I think I can afford the gas, man. I think I'll make it across the street. But I'm showing you this is why we have a problem succeeding. Because while you're busting your behind, going out your way to teach your people what's real, it really hurts people. I can tell you this. I went out my way to try to request people that talk crazy in the chat, only to find out they're bots. So who's creating the bots that are making all the fake pages, robbing the people? And who's creating the bots that are making comments just to go against me? And if you think they don't make bots against people that have a high level of influence, or people like myself that get millions of views, just look up CPAC and George Soros. You can pay for bots to specialize in being detractors or going against what anyone says. You could pay for bots to just make complaints and put them in a chat to influence or sway people's judgment. Look up CPAC, George Soros. So when I turn around, I go, press 9 if you haven't made money with me. And then you see all the 9s coming up and they overpower the BS. Then you got to say, now, because now if the question is, hey, I seen people in the chat say something bad. Now, why is it the question, damn, I seen a whole bunch of people say they made money? Or do you just want an excuse to be afraid to not invest in yourself? Because if it was, damn, but people are saying something bad, now what happens when you see all the good in 2 different platforms that I'm streaming simultaneously? Because all you gotta do is say, press 9 if you made money off of me. Press 9 if you benefited from what I'm teaching in my courses, in my credit. If your score shot up 200 damn points, 150 points. You go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. You leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready to change your life. But I'm telling you, this is a stressful business. Not because of the people you have to deal with per se, but the attack you have to get when you're uplifting your own people. But if you want to be prepared for this next year coming, don't wait for next year. If you want to be a person that can do better for your family, do better for your children, do better for yourself, because you're no good to no one if you're no good to yourself. My watch costs more than this car. Just to respond to somebody. But I don't think they was trying to antagonize me. It's just a fact. So what I'm saying is, my shades are black owned. So you can talk crazy if you want. My shades is black owned. Fenty, Rihanna. $800. My fedora, my hat, my headdress is $700. Made by a black man's company. Keith and James. Black designers I'm wearing. $700 hat, $800 glasses, $1,500 between the two. So don't tell me I don't patronize black people with my money. See, this is, you catch people and they won't even say sorry, because somebody in the chat just said, you know, he spent all that money on European brands, that's why we ain't going nowhere. No, we're not failing because of the clothes we buy. We're failing because we don't know how to invest and grow our money. We're failing because we work for people. So if you're working for somebody and I work for myself, you're making the white man money every day that you go to work. I'm making money sometimes when I buy a white tee. You're actually making him the bulk of the money because you work for him almost every day. And you're trying to do overtime at it for the holidays. You're putting more money into the white community than I am. I just spend with them periodically. You make them money every damn day. And then you still spend with them periodically or excessively. See how that works? You see how the logic works? And then as you say what you say, I just happen to have $800 shades on made by a black woman. And a $700 hat made by a black man's brand. So you're wrong. You should say sorry, bro. That's all I'm saying. People should say sorry. You should say sorry. Because I do deal with black designers. And I happen to spend a lot of money on black designers. But I ain't buying nothing because somebody's just black. I'm buying it because I really like it. And I'm happy to know that they're melanated. Like, do a good job with your artistry. And I'll support. I want to like it. And I got the right to want to like it. I love this stuff. This is a vibe to me. This is me. I put it together. I find this black brand and that black brand. I put it together and I establish my look and how I feel. I think this looks fire. I think this look right here is a vibe. You heard? But that's me. But I buy what I like. I don't buy because it's white folks or black folks. I buy what I like, but I have more of an incentive to buy if it is from black people because that's exciting. to me. If I could be in drip, if I could be drip head to toe, and it's black folks, and it's not because of the pressure of them being black, but more rather the artistry is really in tune with my vision for how I want to demonstrate a certain version of myself when I walk outside, how I want to be received, then yeah, this is me. Because I don't like the typical circular or square shades. I don't like that presentation. I'm always unorthodox. The way I think is unorthodox. So I like this type of look because it doesn't look like your typical shades. It look like some shit. It look the way I think. You know what I'm saying? And I like this. It feels like I'm wearing a crown, but then I also feel like I got a halo. Like I'm a light. I'm brilliant. So I wear what I'm wearing, and because of the sacred geometry of it all too. You know what I'm saying? Because the square and the circle is actually equal to each other. Because in mathematics, you're not equal because of how you look. You're equal based on degrees. So a square is 360 degrees, and a circle is 360 degrees. So they're equal. They're fraternal twins, I should say, actually. And then a triangle is equal to a line mathematically, because a triangle is 180 degrees, and so is a line. Hence the reason half of a circle, when you put that diameter across it, you get 180. Boom. And you spin that square enough, it looks like a circle. That's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, and one representing the terrestrial and the other representing celestial. It's just different things that I think about, and things that how the subconscious mind grasps the idea. I love it. But anyway, go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready to get access to anywhere between 50 grand and 300 grand that you don't have to pay back. Get a caseworker assigned to you that's going to deal with your credit exclusively and immediately. Get $500,000 or in or around in credit equity through credit cards. So you have on one end the credit cards, you do pay them back. Some of them have no late fees. That's amazing. You're going to use the combination between the two to do investing with your credit cards for large sums of money. People think, oh, don't use credit cards, don't use credit cards. If you are given X amount of money and based on how much you use, you have to pay it back, that's a loan. So we have to deal with credit equity and understand how to do credit card investing. You got access to large sums of money, not so. If you get access to $30,000, it's not so you can keep spending $200 to $300 at a time and paying it back. It's so you can level up and invest in your business opportunity or business model for 10, 15 grand, and then start paying that off with the other credit cards. There's a whole sciences. But anyway, on one end, you have the credit cards, you pay some of it back. You have to pay those credit cards back, pardon me. But then you have the loan monies and the grant monies and the tax credits you don't have to pay back. Combination between the two, you should be in 7 figures. You should have $1 million in credit equity. Then you're going to have me as your mentor to coach you through the process to turn that money into wealth for not just this generation, but generations to come. And then you also have the caseworker that's going to deal with you exclusively and immediately for your credit. And then you also have the website where you can track your results. See the deleted items as we remove them, the positive items as we add them, and see the funding when it's processing or it has cleared. Like, this is the level up. This is the level up. To buy your houses through swiping a credit card. To get 200 grand that you don't have to pay back, so you can invest with a clear conscience. To get a mentor, because boxers have trainers and basketball players have coaches, but when it comes to money, we have nothing. And we expect for it to work out. Boxers have trainers. Boxers have trainers. Because we know what happens when you get into that fight and you ain't trained and you fight against someone that is trained. Professional athletes have coaches. The world of sports medicine is on their side. Trainers, their dietary regimen, their work ethic. They're going to be a very talented person who's not a professional. But you guys are not professional money makers, and that's the problem. You're not a professional money maker. That's the problem. The goal is to turn you into a professional moneymaker. What do you do for a living always bothers me when people respond. Because I never hear people say I make money for a living. If I speak for a living, I could be considered a professional speaker. For my deliberation, an orator. If I write for a living, they got a name for that. They'll call me an author. If I teach for a living, they got a name for that. They'll call me a teacher. If I box for a living, they'll call me a boxer. If I play basketball, they'll call me a basketball player. Shit, if I do evil acts, they'll call me the devil. But when it comes to money, they don't got a name. That's kind of weird. They don't have a profession for people that just make money. Oh, maybe might be serial entrepreneur, kind of. You know, so that's the goal. I want you to say, we make it complicated. If you put your mind in a state of, I just make money for a living, then you open up the floodgates to make it any way you choose. But if you have your mind on this linear frequency, there's a way I have to make this money, and then you get stuck on that. As opposed to realizing the plethora of advancements that exist for you to make money, instead of having your mind strung out on that cookie cutter approach that the curriculum gives you when you're in the school system. And that's why information is just that, information. It's information. And people that get information, people that get data in a formation, it's hard for them to think outside of that box. You couldn't circumvent the ideas. They'll suffer from cognitive dissonance. So what I'm giving you, what I'm postulating is that you guys sign up and get your outformation. I don't have no information for you. That's why my shit sounds all spooky. Credit card investing, that sounds weird. It's a class system, credit cards. The credit industry is the new form of the class system. That's outformation. Hey, tell them you don't want the credit for paying off your debt. Pay off your debt and tell them to remove it from the record. That's outformation. That's not information. Apply for any job you want. That's what they say. That's information. Outformation is every time you apply for a job, they're more likely doing a hard inquiry on your credit. So applying for jobs is making your credit score go down. If you fill out 15 job applications, probably 9, 10 of them made hard inquiries on your credit because you wasn't prepared to ask them the right questions or to signify to them the manner in which they need to deal with you. You've impacted your credit severely just by doing your best to get a job. Applying for jobs is lowering your credit score. That's outformation. Because information is get off your ass, stop being lazy, and go out there and apply for as much jobs as possible. And they don't tell you the rest of the information because they don't know themselves. That's information. I'm giving you outformation. Hey, the guy selling you a car at the dealership, how many cars do they really sell a day? Not much. So how are they making any money? Off of commissions. Commission off of what? Oh, when you ask to get a car, they'll send out 20, 30 different inquiries to lenders about you to see who's willing to put some money up for you. And then after all 20, 30 of those people denied you, the guy at the dealership is getting anywhere between $5 to $15 off of each inquiry. So he's going to try to get you 7 inquiries or 15 inquiries or 20 inquiries so he can multiply all the people that he's being nice enough. He's not telling you though, let me do a check and see if we can get you approved of this loan. But he's not telling you he's getting $5 to $15 off of each check when he knows should only check 1 or 2. And in fact, we could do it without him checking those lenders. They could tell you what you need to do before you go there so you can know not even to go there in the first fucking place. So, let me run the numbers up. I'm getting $15 off of each check. Let me check 10 different lenders on your behalf without telling you. And I made $150. So if I can do this to 10 people for the day, I can run up at least a $1,500 check for myself in commissions, give a little percentage to my employer, and then I'm good. And now I'm making money without selling cars off of the dealership, without one car driving off. They don't tell you this because that's out formation. It's out of formation. So when I say it, it sounds like a scam. When I say it, how come I know and no one else knows? Or how come no one else told me? It always got to be, how come no one else told you when I tell you? That's what it got to be. Huh? I see we got the bots out of there. It's very weird. When I said put up the 9s, I don't really see people hanging out no more here. I don't see them hanging out in the chat no more. Fuck is y'all at? When I said, who's making money off of me? Yeah, we should have had a civil war. It should have been like a Mel Gibson movie. Amistad or some shit. Should have had the 9s versus the detractors to see who wins. So I really do this, man. But anyway, when you're ready, only when you're ready. You don't have to contact us and tell us, thank you for the 9s again, even though I was even asked for them. They're here. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Forward your full name and your phone number when you are ready to purchase. You don't have to contact us if you're not ready to purchase. Forward your full name and your phone number when you take this thing serious, man, and you need to change your life and you need to prepare yourself for what's about to happen. Thank you for the 9s, man. I appreciate it a whole lot. Thank you. Because good people don't really go out their way to say good things. They just sit there and they catch a vibe and they benefit from the great results, as they should. Negative people go out their way to keep cutting and paste the same thing over and over and over, and that's how we know you're not genuine. Because you're like you're evangelizing the negativity. I'm gonna propagate this until the whole world knows it. I had nothing else to do with my life. But good people just be benefiting, but because they're not saying nothing, y'all really think they don't exist. Now my shit's still filled with 9s. Still 9s on both pages. Still 9s. I just always, the person said, what's 9? I just ask people to press the number 9. 9 is, you know, completion. Ain't no number higher than 9. I just tell people press 9, and it follows the golden mean ratio, the Fibonacci sequence, that spiral, fetal position. Everything goes through that spiral of the universe. Our so-called kinky here. So I just say press 9 if you benefited from it, if you made monies from it. Paid for my service and you're benefiting and you made money. I ask people to press 9. Happens to be a whole lot of 9s out there. Still 9s. Let me show you guys. Let me show you the Facebook so you guys can see the 9s still. So you see the 9s on Facebook. And okay, now let's get the Facebook people to see the 9s on Instagram. Okay. You see that? Still coming in. The 9s are still coming in. So, just want to show you, yeah, the other side of the story. That's it. That's how you shut that shit down. Like, I know what I do. I know my benefit. I know my contribution. I know my value to my community. I know I put way more into my community than I ever could take. So when people do that, that shit really pisses me off when people look to undermine who and what I am. Because a lot of people benefit from my teachings and sell their watered down fucking packages and they don't even give me no credit for it. And it's okay not to give me credit, but to not even big me up or show me any love, but to go out there and you guys are stock gurus now and health gurus now and you making money and doing all this stuff, but never once just even give me a call personally, be like, yo, thank you, brother. You don't even got to tell the public. You get it from me. But I know what I teach, so I know me when I hear it. And my students hit me up all the time, send me videos of people saying shit that I done said already, the same exact way I said it. And they be hot, and I be like, we taught this information so it could go out. So if they out there propagating the very information I'm propagating, so long as it's the truth, let these people benefit. I ain't call no names in the name of you're sharing what I gave you because I gave it to people so it could spread. But it is a bit annoying when all these cats is out here off of the foundation I built. It's not ego. It's real fucking talk. When a man puts down 96 books, I'm sure people slipping and sliding purchasing them because people do know, yo, I am sharp. It's like not in question if I'm actually intelligent. It's not in question. If you listen to me enough times, you know, you know, the multilingual, serial entrepreneur, black revolutionary, prolific author, eloquent speaker. You've seen so many different dynamics of what I do. Stocks, crypto, real estate. They said I have ADHD. I think I just have a short attention span for things. After achieving a certain level of mastery, I'm done with that. Let me do crypto. I'm done with that. Let's do options trading. I'm done with that. Let me do credit restoration. I just go and I crack the code everywhere I go. Get bored, find some new shit to crack the code. Next year I'm doing some other shit. I ain't even doing the credit thing. That's how I am. Next year I'll just do some other shit. It don't matter how good it's going for me. Gold in a crisis, nobody wanted me to stop gold in a crisis. You know how much people made money off of gold in a crisis? When I upload this video on IG, just press 9 into the comment section. If you made your money off of gold in the crisis. You know how much people made money off of gold in the crisis? They never wanted me to stop. People will beg me every day, can you get back to in the money text and letting us know what stocks is the right direction to go in? Yo, I really do this. Yeah, I'm a Leo. I really do this. Thank you for the 9s. I made a lot of money on gold in the crisis. Thank you, Rock Spiritual. I appreciate that. SRNE. Yup, that's one of those. I'm going to bring it back for 2023. I'm definitely bringing the courses back for 2023. Top of January, we back at it because we're about to go into a recession and we know to find the gold in the crisis. It's all about timing. So I let that bitch breathe. It's about timing, people. It's all about timing. We wait for that market to get volatile and for shit to go to hell. And that's what we're going to make our most money for those of us who have lesser resources. We wait till the house is going foreclosure to purchase them. Not when the market is doing good. We wait for the market to do bad. Gush, I got at 30, threw in the sink with Polight guidance. Thank you. And I know Gush is lit. And anybody that been walking with me, know what I told you about Gush, know what I told you about SRNE, know what I told you about Hertz. Now look at them, flourishing. But anyway, you ready to spend your $2,000? Get access to near $500,000 in equity. Get anywhere between $50,000 to $300,000 inside of 60 to 90 business days. Get you a caseworker dealing with your credit exclusively and immediately. Get me as your mentor to prepare you for the funds coming in so you can grow it into a larger amount. And also have the website where you can track your results, see the deleted items as they remove, the positive items as they're added, and your funding to see if it cleared or it's processing, if it's pending, if it's available. Like, who has a system catering to people like that? Leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready. I gotta bust moves. Hey June, do me a favor. Don't catch a vibe. It's Rolls Royce Diaries. You know what I'm saying? Seeing is knowing, that's all. Just showing the vibes. Got the Holy Ghost. You know what a wraith is. You know what an apparition is. You know what phantom is. Shit getting spooky out here. Suicide doors. But you know, the tutorial, you hold that button. Right? You go like this. Boom. As a matter of fact, I met him through the credit restoration and we actually became close friends, man. And now we done made that money several times over because I found out how talented he is. Outside of him coming to me to make money, I wound up having to pay him money because he's a dope engineer and amazing singer. So it's wild, man. So he been making money off of music, you know, and it's just been a beautiful thing, man. Look how the universe bless us. So I always like having a bond with my students, man. I'm at apple a day. Yeah, just give me a ginger shot, coconut water. Don't forget, we got the cauliflower crust pizza inside. I got that. Don't forget, I got the cauliflower pizza inside. Yeah. Yeah. Just that cauliflower. See this? That bell peppers, onions. I'm not a fan of cauliflower, but I will eat a cauliflower crust with nutritional yeast. Not nutritional yeast, pardon me. Sea moss in a place of yeast to make the dough rise. Like that's that shit I be on. I be out here coaching people on how to make my food, man. Rolls Royce Diaries. Yeah, but you see how people come together just for their soccer? We need to come together when we make this money off the credit restoration. We need to put our money to the side. I'm about to start that program for next year too. Everybody that gets over $100,000 in the program, put 10 grand to the side and let's pool the funds together as a community. And let's buy one of these lots, man, together. Let's buy one of these lots together, man. Come on, 10 of us. You like that shit, huh?
I love you.
I fuck with them, man. Hey, lovers, get this money.